Hello, this is Pastor Micah with Life's Journey United Church of Christ. Greetings to you. I hope all of you are finding the strength, support, peace, and joy you both need and deserve this week. I also hope you know if you need help with that at all, we are here for you at Life's Journey United Church of Christ. Just reach out. Also, as a reminder, before I begin this week's devotional proper, remember that most of our ministry events and our worship services will be online on Zoom or Facebook Live until the end of January to allow this COVID wave to die down. Reach out to me if you need information about how to access events and worship services. This past week, we considered the story of Jesus turning water into wine. In this miracle, Jesus takes huge jars used to make a kind of holy water and turns that holy water into wine for feasting that keeps the party going all night long. I said on Sunday that in this miracle, Jesus demonstrates that God is not just somewhere out there beyond the pale moonlight, but here in our hearts and in our very lives. In each of our lives and stories, God is present, speaking and guiding us. And in each person we meet, their life and their story also speaks, also carries the presence of God if we just have eyes to see and ears to hear. This is why we can hear God's voice as much in what Dorothy Day calls the duty to delight as in the call for us to bear up under suffering. This is also why we can know that Frederick Buechner spoke the truth when he said that for most of us, the place where our deepest joy and the world's deepest hunger and need intersect is the place God is most often calling us toward. This coming Sunday, we will look at the Gospel of John's version of the story of Jesus overturning the money changers in the temple. This story is a source of a meme that has been going around on the internet that says, if anyone ever asks, what would Jesus do? Remind them that flipping over tables and chasing people with a whip is within the realm of possibility. This stark story has many meanings. But as I try to think of what connects these two stories, I'm reminded of the deep connection that exists between our accepting ourselves as loved and a delight to God, as deserving of love and delight, and us no longer accepting mistreatment, abuse, and oppression. We will look on Sunday in more detail at John's unique way of telling this story. But in all the forms the story of Jesus turning over the money changing tables of the temple takes in the Bible. At its heart is the question of what does it look like when we cease treating people as means to an end, but as the end itself. In every version of this story in the Gospels, what Jesus is doing is about reminding us that none of us deserve to be treated like we are worthless. This is directly connected with the call to see ourselves as ones deserving of delight and love, which Jesus earlier turning water into wine in Jesus' own baptism both teach us. As James Baldwin reminded people in his book, The Fire Next Time, love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. I use the word love here not merely in the personal sense, but as a state of being or a state of grace not in the infantile American sense of being made happy, but in the tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth. James Baldwin described what this process had looked like for him personally as a black gay man in a time in which both were dangerous ways to live in the world. In his book, Notes of the Native Son, it took many years, he writes, of vomiting up all the filth I'd been taught about myself and half believed before I was able to walk on the earth as though I had a right to be here. What a powerful statement. Both of these stories call us to recognize ourselves as ones held firmly in God's love, a love that, if we let it, will remove our every mask and reveal us to ourselves for who we truly are. And when we let God do this for ourselves and others, we no longer will let others' judgments dictate the terms of our life on this planet. No, instead, we will choose to live as ones who have a right to be here too. We also will not look away when others are treated as if, due to what makes them different, they don't belong. Like Jesus, we will speak and act in ways that get others' attention. We will not let anyone go through their lives living as if they don't belong here. We will resist any and all who try to make our world, a place that pushes others to the point of isolation and despair. There are many little and big ways we all can choose to, like Jesus, embrace our own identity. And like Jesus, speak up for others, being sent the message that they do not have a right to live and move as ones who belong in our families, our neighborhoods, our workplaces, our communities, our church family. May we hear that call and answer, not just with our words, but with our actions today and always. Many blessings to you this week. I hope to see you in worship with us, whether on Facebook Live or on Zoom this Sunday. See you then.